23 days of Test match cricket, and here we are. Isn't this magnificent? What's the longest you've ever abstained from anything in your life? Anything? Has it been 23 days from what could be one of the most glorious climaxes of your entire life, or bitter, bitter despair where it just dribbles out? Make of that what you will. But this is coming into the final hurdle, round the straight, round the bend, all to play for. 324 to win, 8 or 9 wickets for India to win. And online, we're just waiting. There's a belt around our neck. The bag is being placed over the head. We're putting certain citrus fruits in our mouths, and we're thinking, I hope that I get to say something mean on the internet if my team wins. And that is what 23 days of Test match cricket can do to a man. Or a woman. Most likely a man, Pezza.
According to our data of the great cricketer anyway, sadly, and to our shame. I agree with you, Higgos, just around the belt and tangerine. Preparations are being made, you know. Men on the internet around the world, that's a very generous love. Men on the internet around the world are making their preparations in their dungeons, you know, and what is it going to be? Australians, of course, obsessed. It all comes down to this. It'd be England's second highest ever run chase, but we're in the Bazball era, and as Josh Tongue said last night, we're all pretty chilled about it. India probably only needs 9 wickets with poor old Wokesy's shoulder, and they've already got 1. They've had a stinker in the field today, England. They're running on fumes. They've dropped 20 catches in the series. They've dropped 6 in this innings. Reports, Bunny Ronay and The Guardian saying that's the most they've dropped in 20 years. And they're led by Jaiswal, India. So let's get into Yashasvi Jaiswal. Just uppercutting his way to another severe 100. He loves it against England, and he's essentially batting in Akash Deeps slipstream. So Akash Deep, yellow jersey, Yashasvi Jaiswal just sitting in behind there. And Akash Deep, 66. 66 is the best. And I think these are runs for all bowlers around the world who just go, mate, just give us a crack batting. I'll go in as a night watcher. I'll deal with 2 deliveries the evening before, and then I'll show you how it's done. Mm-hmm. You know, like if he didn't walk back into that dressing room and just drop his bat like a mic and say, "Boys, any danger?" I'm happy to bat 4 if that's what helps the team, because I thought he looked pretty good for it. I thought he looked good value for it. Mm-hmm. These are fun runs. They're happy runs. They're novelty runs. Where we're at in the series now is it's all about spiritual kinesthetic energy. Like the last thing you do is the momentum you take into the next thing. So when Gill and Jadeja are there saying, take your helmet off, raise your helmet, which is, by the way, is a stitch up on his 50. They're saying because as soon as he'd walk in, they'd say, I can't believe you lifted your helmet for that. That's outrageous.
Settle down, champion.
Yeah, settle down. That's 50. Which he correctly ignored. These are the things that may make the difference. For example, hello, Louis. Have I got that right? Louis coming through?
Yeah, it's Louis coming through, yeah.
Cat of nine tails.
I live in a zoo, by the way.
Oh, lovely. That's great stuff. We should just get all our pets, just chuck him in a ring, see what happens. And do a little Patreon promotion on it.
TGC cockfights. We should have been doing that, to be fair.
Yeah, that's right. Online internet cockfights for men, though. So, anyway, I forgot where I was going with it. Yeah,
Sorry.
No, it's all right. So Akash Deep gets the happy novelty runs. It kind of sets the tone for India's successful day. They improve their position really from when it started. So you have to say it's India's day. They end up getting a wicket at the very last ball of the day, which means the pendulum swung back slightly. And then if you look at it in a more macro sense, if India gets this done, the Ashes is dead. And if England gets it done, then they're going to win 5-0, because the last thing that happens is the thing that will always happen. Right, so that is where we're at,
mate. I'm so into Akash Deep's runs, who's just had one of the weirdest sort of 24 hours, I suppose. But I'm into runs where, when they show the dressing room guys come out from the glass screen onto the balcony, like people start like coming out like it's a clown car, you know, like people just like like parading onto the balcony, being like, "Oh my god, I haven't been watching you for the last 2.5 hours. What's happened here?" Yeah. So I'm into that. Shubman Gill looked happier than any of the runs he's scored so far. Of course, Akash Deeps runs now means that Shubman looks unders for his 750 runs for the series or whatever. I also saw that like how India got 396 in their innings for a lead of 374 or whatever. It looks like maybe they could have got to 400 plus or whatever, but how their tail has batted this year. So a combination of 9 innings between Bumrah, Siraj, Kambodge, Krishna and Akash Deep. They've scored 49 runs for the series in 9 innings. And the top score was Siraj's 8. Obviously, they got kind of close they did get close at Lords, fell 20-something runs short. Though Siraj didn't really score many runs in that game. But so, like, the tail has been an issue, I suppose, in a run-scoring series. But and now Akash Deep just peels off 66. So, I mean, it's a significant contribution. Just that he was batting 4 this time, so it doesn't really count. But I like happy runs. And Jaiswal bookending the series with tons. He is the best opening batter in the world, and that is just like it must be nice having one of the best players in the world opening the batting. Just sort of frees up the rest of the order because everyone wants to bat 4 or 5, right? So if you've got one of your best batters opening, I mean, he's going to be the best player for ages.
Yeah, well, yeah. People will put this more poetically or statistically, but I think yours is the most accurate. He's just going to be the best player for ages, and I look forward to him doing that against teams that aren't mine. So fair play. Yeah. Good old Jaiswal. Shout out a couple other areas like Jarrell, Jadeja, good partnership. Jadeja goes past 500 runs for the series. Equinox this, 5th highest for a batter, coming in at 6 or lower. Now, that sounds Equinoxy, but it's not, because in Australia, again, obsessed inserting ourselves into it, not been invited, punter, why is he doing it, etc. Like, we have an obsession with number 6. We expect our number 6 to score 500 runs every series. It never happens, and we're not in that list. But Jadeja actually does it, and he's done it on this occasion. I mean, it's another batting record to fall of many in this series, but there was significant runs today, very helpful, annoying runs. I think it was a day of demoralisation for England, without the help of Stokes in the field. It's drop catches, it's blokes making scores that you don't expect to make scores. It's Ollie Pope having to rotate through 3 bowlers with Wokes' injury and no real frontline spinner. The pitch was a little bit better to bat on. It was still doing fractional amounts, but it was a good day for batting. And, it's probably pushing against the grain here, but that England in that circumstance still give themselves a shout, given that they've chased 371 early in the series. They chased 370 on at Edgbaston against India a couple of years ago. I think is somewhat of a credit to them. It still shows that India, both teams are running on fumes. There's mistakes being made everywhere. Really, in India have put themselves in a sensational position, you have to say, and particularly helped by Washi. He goes what Washi was asked by. It's a late note for Washington Sundar here. He was asked by Harry Brook to get on with it. That was in the last test, so he did it this test. He's 53 and just whacking everybody into the stands, hoiking at pace and height and successfully. So he gets 53 for that, and most of those runs come in the last wicket. So again, more demoralising runs for England. What a cricketer he's been. I just feel like Washington's always there. He's in the thick of it, and I feel like he likes it. He's into it. How would I have any idea about his psychology? But I'm just a guy watching from home at about 10 p.m. But, ordering some chocolate off Uber Eats at a great premium price, and then your wife says, "What's the service fee on that?" I'm like, "Don't worry about it, just eat it." And then I'm like, "Gee, Washington looks up for the fight," And talked to him once a few years ago. Sunrises, very strange camera. Sorry.
And Nicholas Purin called you Sean, and Kane Williamson was confused. Mate, speaking of the IPL, I mean, this is one of the interesting things about. It's not interesting at all. About the IPL is that because they've got like this substitute now where they basically just there is no space for an all rounder. So Washington Sundar doesn't play in the IPL, and he's clearly one of India's best cricketers. And that's an unusual miss for the IPL that guys like this don't play in the highest profile tournament. Anyway, he's been amazing this series, and I think when he's batting with Siraj, no, Siraj isn't the last man. It's Krishna is the last man. So I think that it's like the lead's 334. So Washington adds like 45 by himself, I think, in that moment to get them up to what looks like a really hard score to chase. Just on Jadeja, I saw that he's now scored 10 50s or more in England, which only batting at 6, which is only Clive Lloyd has that many, which was in Australia. And he's also scored the most amount of runs for a batter batting at 6 in a series, might be in England or just ever, I'm not sure. But, there are just so many records falling. But he's just fucking... He's just such a good cricketer. I mean, and then... So Jadeja's at the end of his career, and turns out Washington Sundar's just carrying on the mantle. Maybe the bowling's not quite there just yet. We'll see in India, I suppose. But unfortunately, India will be good for a while.
Yep, but it's not our problem right at the moment.
Not our problem.
Right now. Usually is, but not right now. So anyway, so Washi wags a tail, and then England get their shot, and it's a good period that they've got to bat. It's one of those ones where, they're chasing record scores, lists are coming up, conversations about whether they can do it or not arrive, and it's like one of those periods to bat where they can wipe off an amount that gives them something to look at tomorrow that's a lot more, palatable, I suppose. And they largely do that until the last ball of the day, when Mohammad Siraj bluffs Crawley, puts a man out, thinks the short ball's coming, and it's just a searing, in-dipping Yorker, who's the very nature of the dismissal lets the tamasha of the nation of India run. They're up and about at the Oval. The pendulum has swung, and the rest of the world dares to dream. Dares to dream of what? 2-2, and then we just put the cue in the rack and go back to eating gay times on the couch. That's a golden gay time ice cream, to be clear.
Yep.
That's an ice cream that they have in Australia, okay? Yep. Potentially elsewhere. Sometimes you do go overseas and see the same brand names. You're like, wow, I thought that was Australian. Look at my myopia. And that's why this series needs to end, because the intrusive thoughts are just they're starting to overwhelm us all. That's why England dropped a lot of catches. He goes. I want to throw it over to you. I think that's a fairly thorough summary of what happened. So, who you got, mate? Who you got?
I don't know why, but I sense that England are somehow slightly more likely. I don't really know why. I think this. If they chase this will be their best chase, in my opinion. Because the wicket isn't as flat as other decks. They are on fumes, as are India. But I'm not sure if Wokes will bat. No one knows as far as I know. But as soon as I know, you'll know. But I just feel, what's going to happen is Jacob Bethel is going to score 140, and then they're going to have a problem. So Jacob Bethel to score 140, win the game, and then they've got a problem. So that's what I'm interested in. But every time I think India are gone, they at least level it back up. They haven't quite grabbed the moments in this series. That's probably been the thing they haven't quite done. And maybe it's a day where England just get bowled out for 243, and it's just it was always going to happen. I don't know. There's just something I just feel like England just have some batters that can do it. What do you think?
They've got kind of one more burst in them. Yeah, mate. It's a great question. It's what you can make arguments both ways. I don't know how much value you put in this, but the highest fourth innings chase at the Oval is 263, made in 1902, which just goes to show no one's been able to better that for over 100 years, and England have got to better that by 30% or so. Do your own research on the maths there. So, which you will, and that's good.
Sunday morning analysis,
mate. We chisel out the lies to arrive at the truth. It's called the Westminster system. Look it up. Oh, and then they look that up, and you got that wrong as well. So it tough to win on to chase in the fourth innings at the Oval. We know England's done these things before. I think something in India's favour that certainly something that has changed when it comes to my perception of them and visiting teams to England, but particularly India, is that they've shown through this series, to your point, Higgos, that they're only ever battered, never beaten India. You'd expect after this amount of time. 5 tests, long tour, no Bumrah, Gambia getting shirty. We've seen Indian teams and visiting teams, all over the world by this time of the series roll over. We've had enough. That's it. We surrender, white flag up kind of gear. But I mean, if you look at the game, overnight, England look to be the ones now on the canvas. Drop catches, guys going down injured, which can happen. It's not a weakness. It's just what happens over 5 tests. At the wicket on the last ball of the day, India keeps showing these signals that they're going all the way. They're here to the finish, and so it'll be interesting to see if England can, pull something special out one more time.
Yeah,
with a depleted team without their captain there. So you're turning to your roots, you're turning to your Brooks, Jamie Smith, and Jacob Bethel. Yeah, I know it's your first test in England, Jacob, and you've played one first-class game this summer. Can you strum 140 for us to put the series to bed against a rampant India playing for 1.5 billion people? But that is the respect you have for the way these guys bat. They can put a session or two together if they get some conditions. If India lose some fight because understandably they're tired, then England can punish you. But I kind of get the feeling that India's come all this way. They've got one more push in them.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, the one thing that England do have is a much longer batting tail. You got Atkinson, you got Overton. Wokes will be a miss. But obviously without Bashir, then England's batting just becomes a little bit better. So I mean, basically what I'm saying is India have to earn every single wicket, whereas maybe that's not the case. I mean, the other way around, but it certainly hasn't been this series, apart from Akash Deeps' fun 66.
Let's hand it over to the punters. Hashtag AskTGC. If you want to support TGC, patreon.com/greatcricketer. I'm sure that promotion has just garnered another 100 subscribers.
Yes.
So, Farmer Wants a Jelk says, is Siraj good? Is Tongue good? Is cricket good? Probably no to all. Yeah, nothing to add to that. I think Siraj has improved his reputation markedly in this series, and through resilience and stamina. I think it's a stamina-based improvement. As we said yesterday, he's the last one. He's the last man standing, and he's still making the difference. So, and isn't it remarkable? What does it say about psychology that they do perform better as a unit without Bumrah there? It's such an interesting thing. It's not
weird.
taking anything away from Jaiswal Bumrah. One of the greatest to do it.
It's also credit to us to not mention at any point Josh Tongue's 5 for 125 in the day, and that's our right because he went at 4 and over. So when
you got 3 bowlers, someone's got to get him. But congrats to Joe. That's how Murali got 800.
Someone's got to get him. It's mean, isn't it?
It's
mean.
Well, it's a long series. The tired minds don't just apply to the cricketers.
Somebody think of the podcasters.
No spray, no lay says hardly caught a ball, but we (brackets England) and yes, we are losing the Ashes 5-0. Fuck off. I said no, you can't say that. You've come this far. You don't get to gallows. You don't get to gallows humour now after everything that's been said. You don't get that. No. Special Sock says Zimbabwe were poor.
Don't know what happens, but I can agree. I don't know. I don't know if it's about governance or what's going on.
Chucky Allah says, fancy taking a catch, boys? Fuck's sake, we're trying to make a match of it here.
Yeah, see, if India held all their catches in the first test, they'd actually would have won that game as well. And when you think about it, they were unlucky to lose that last wicket at Lord's. So that makes it 4-0 heading into this game, which does make it interesting, actually, when you think about it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, I think England have safely got this match sorted out were it not for the drop catches. So if you take away the drop catches, England's actually won.
Yep.
Help me, Popey. Ton, you're my only Hopey. Am I happy now, he says. Andrew, a papig on Walkabout, says, wake up, check score, ... smile, ... go back to sleep. That is the experience of a lot of Australians, I think, to be fair. Mm-hmm. Aravinda de Silver-Tongued Devil says, did you see that Gambier smile today? It was... that's not kind words. I hope we don't ever see it again, he says. No, I mean, a man's allowed to smile. A man can be caustic and sour and have that demeanour and, punchy. He's also allowed to smile. I don't think we can start we can rip into a lot with Gambier. Like there's a lot to work with. There's a lot to mine. I'm sure he wouldn't mind that because that's how he plays the code. But you can't start sledging a guy for smiling. I mean, if he's smiling, fair play to him.
Well, that could be his PR manager writing in. So it goes against his brand,
Interesting.
So it could be a brand play.
Yep. Okay. Fair enough. There's lots of options there. Okay. Winnipeg Super Pig says, how much is Ben Stokes stressing about finding a nightclub appropriate to do the traditional bevies with all the Indian boys at Test's End? So there's a little bit of and again, this will be corrected in the comments, but I think there's some confusion about if it does end 2-2, big if, what occurs vis-a-vis the raising of the trophy, given that, when they go to India, they play for the, I think, Anthony DeMello trophy. It's a different trophy. It's not perpetual through into the England-hosted series, and it's a new trophy here. The Anderson Tendulkar Trophy, so or is it a renamed trophy only? Given it was 2-2 last time, also, are we going back to when who won the series before, which was England?
So, okay. Because I feel like I can, in my mind's eye, I can see two captains jointly holding up a trophy, and I don't know who those captains are, and I don't know what the trophy is, but I feel like I've seen it before.
But if that's the case, if two captains hold a trophy and share a trophy, which is I think would be fairer, if not crow's feety, fairer than any other option.
It's like kissing your sister.
Perfect, mate. That is a perfect and poetic analogy, actually. You get the kiss. Yeah. You get the kiss and the arousal from that. But then nice. Then that's right. But then you've done it with your family. So, yeah. So that's the swings and roundabouts of that. But
so it's still good, but not as good.
Does Stokes hold that trophy with Shubman Gill in full whites, John Terry style? Or is it Pope? No, these are the things we have to consider.
Yeah. Shin pads on. Taped up. Yep.
Roll the clip, Charlie. Just wants to know from you. So Isaac, what's doing? He goes. Where have you got any word on Isaac?
Yeah, I do have the inside scoop. I am one of these in the know accounts, or as I call them, ITK.
ITK.
And look, it's just a matter of time. And look, both clubs just have to handle their own PR management with this because Newcastle don't want to lose the player, Liverpool don't want to seem too greedy, don't want to reveal that they've got the cash. But it's now sort of a matter of time between these two clubs. So we're expecting more news in the coming days.
Has Isaac excused himself from training, and is he training with the 21s or whatever?
So Newcastle are in South Korea at the moment, and Eddie Howe today says he's found out where Isaac is through the media, and he's in Spain at the moment.
Okay. In many ways he has. Yeah, I mean it's a matter of time. I thought that Newcastle rejected Liverpool's final offer. Oh no, sorry,
first bid.
No, it was Liverpool's take it or leave it offer. I heard it was take it or leave it.
Mm-hmm. Well, as I understand it, Liverpool are preparing a second bid, and Newcastle are bracing for that bid.
Oh, so. Mate. All right. Well, we know how these end. All right. Bill Morrow says new broadcast partner for ECB is Frogbox. Okay.
Just a comment.
Hey, that's Morris's third grade vibes. I would welcome that partnership. I mean, the sooner the rest of the world understands the value of club cricket and its overlay, the better for everybody.
Yep.
We've always said that. Do you think, Shiv Chandapal's batting stance says, do you think the Penrith trainer running in front of Jaden Campbell was on purpose or by accident? If you think it's by accident, then you got a bridge to sell you. Penrith have been doing this stuff for years. I don't know that exact thing, but yeah.
I think it was also an accident when he was watering the balls before kickoff. So that was also an accident.
Exactly. Just feels nice over the fingers, like when you dip your fingers into a fountain. Again, Andrew says you need to make your catches, England. Thanks for the entertainment. Yeah, okay.
Well, I do worry if no one called out, come on, boys, catches win matches. Like in between, counting the dot balls or saying, come on, England, walking in with a bowler.
Yeah, I thought Liam Dawson's drop catch yesterday, and you feel for Liam Dawson, obviously, just given the way he's been treated generally. But what I liked about the way he dropped his catch was that, firstly, into the sun, sunglasses on the head. That's just one thing, by the by. I don't know. He can field how he likes. He's still using his eyes. But I liked how he got his hands to the ball. His hands knew exactly where the ball was. And then the catch was dropped before he motioned that he didn't see the ball.
Yeah.
So if he's actually managed to get his hands to the ball without seeing it, it's basically worth a catch. Like that's probably a more highly athletic and coordinated movement than catching a ball that you've seen. Can you imagine someone hits you a ball, you don't know where it is, but you still manage to get your hands to it? Oh, that is unbelievable. But anyway.
And also get your body in the position to perfectly place your hands there. So he shuffles in from the boundary, a couple of steps in, to his right, gets the hands up, didn't even see it. Incredible stuff. I mean, he needs to play.
Higgins Dream at Bouncing says England has this done by T, and Glory Hole Sundaresan says Swans looks good. But
well, either beholder. That was a dog shit game.
Higgins a good. We could be talking tomorrow, and it's just a comfortable and deserved 3-1 series victory for England, or a stop the press 2-2 for India, and question marks all over the English cricket setup and pathways.
Yes, that's right. So, I mean, tune in tomorrow. It could be one of the happiest days of your life, or you might just be switching off social media for a week. I guess we'll find out. But either way, it's exciting. 23 days tomorrow, 24 days of Test cricket. We're almost there, baby. We'll see you tomorrow.